Did Naomi just job to Tiffany Stratton? Dakota Kai betrays Bayley ahead of WrestleMania. Toni Storm with Toni Storm clone defeats Deonna Purrazzo. Becky, Lynch, and Nia Jax tearing it up in yet another great match. And also Liv and Nia to be added to WrestleMania World Women's Championship match. Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is DS and this is your Women's Wrestling Weekly. We've got AEW Revolution and we're en route to WrestleMania 40. Tons of juicy stuff is happening, so let's jump right into SmackDown because we've got things to talk about. Okay, so on SmackDown we had Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton match, and yeah, I am pissed about this. So Naomi's entrance was cut first of all, and we got the jobber entrance for Naomi. I mean, who cuts Naomi's entrance? She's got the best entrances of the entire pro wrestling entrances, and she looked so damn good. Love the gear. WWE sure know how to bring the gear game. I mean, the match had some cute moments, not gonna lie, even though it was pretty short. I love the whole Tiffy time versus Glow time situation. The crowd did too. They were totally drinking Tiffany Kool-Aid. And don't get me wrong, I love Tiffany Stratton, but I'm not gonna boo Naomi for Tiffany. Like, are you kidding me? The disrespect? Anyway, this crowd was fully team Tiffy time, and Naomi's like, it's glow time. Love some of the moves that Naomi brought from TNA, like that face buster. But at the end, Tiffany rakes Naomi's eye and hurls her into the ring post and finishes Naomi with the prettiest moonsault ever. And I'm so pissed. Like, is Naomi jobbing? Okay, I don't think she's like jobbing, and also she didn't lose clean. There was the eye rake, I guess. Yeah, I get that Tiffany is a super rookie WWE is really trying to build, but Naomi just came back after being the Knockouts champion, booked so strongly. Not that WWE care about Impact Zone, but damn, I want to know if Trin's missing TNA right now. I don't know, man. This isn't great. I mean, hoping and praying that this is all part of a bigger storyline heading into WrestleMania 40, but I am worried about this. I'm gonna say, girl, I'm not even saying that Naomi should be in a championship storyline right away, but what is this? What is this? We got a tag match, Bayley and Dakota Kai versus Kabuki Warriors, accompanied by WWE Women's Champion Io Sky, and I was like really fully in my delusions era. I know Dakota have betrayed many people before, but I was like, no, this time might be different. Bayley literally brought her back to WWE. At least I hoped it would be different. Nope. So as Bayley was trying to tag in Dakota Kai, she hops down, and my heart also dropped. My heart was breaking seeing Bayley being betrayed after opening her heart last week, and betrayed Bayley start throwing hands at Dakota, but Damage CTRL breaks her down, and Io lays her out with the knee to her back. I mean, expected, yes, but damn, this continues to be a really good storyline, even though this part was pretty much expected. But also at the same time, let's talk the tea.
Let me keep it 100 with you.
Pretty clearly, we can see that WWE's not booking this like a WrestleMania main event feud, even though Bayley's the Royal Rumble winner. I'm like 90% this won't be WrestleMania main event, let's be honest. Because at this rate, Roman's gonna main event both nights, and now that Dakota part of the story is resolved, I need Io to be more front and center of this feud, because this isn't WrestleMania Dakota Kai versus Bayley, this is Io versus Bayley. So let's get our champion booked like the champion. I still really enjoyed this. I'm satisfied. Oh, and backstage, Damage CTRL runs into Jade Cargill, who's having this weeks-long contract negotiation, and they tease Io versus Jade. Oh, that's gonna be good. Do you guys think there's still a chance that Bayley and Io can main event WrestleMania? I don't know. It's March. We're just a month away from WrestleMania. Spring's coming, and just like flowers that's gonna start blooming, I'll always smell good thanks to Dossier. And you know we love Dossier here, because thanks to Dossier, we're always smelling good, smelling opulent. And again, I'm seriously so in love with this guy. Musky Gaiac inspired by Lilibel's Gaiac 10. It's really a hit for me everywhere I go. It's smoky and dry with leathery tones, so like it's really perfect. It's giving manly, masculine. But my favorite part is that I can get like 5 bottles of this for 1 bottle of Lilibel. I love that I don't need to freaking break my bank getting the designer cologne, because Dossier is all about yes to smelling good, no to overpaying, and I'm very thankful for this, especially in this tech season. There's so much price markup in fragrance business. Dossier is all about clean, ethically sourced, long-lasting high-end perfume within reach. So if you're curious about stepping into a new way of consuming perfumes, I'll say definitely a better way, Dossier is here for you. So make sure to use the code 10RingTheBell for a discount just for Ring the Bell fam at dossier.co. Thank you, Dossier. Let's head to WWE Raw. So we got this blockbuster rematch, Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. And I'm like, how did we not know all these years they've worked together that Nia and Becky had this fire chemistry? Like, how? This match was amazing yet again. I don't even care it ended with no contest. Holy shit. It's also really cool because I don't know what it is, but with Becky, it seems like Nia just draws out even more stuff from her arsenal. She just does crazier stuff. I gasped out loud for Nia's leg drop. I was like, is Becky okay? That honestly should be her new finisher if her whole is okay with it. Also, I heard the crowd like gagging when Nia was doing the stink face. That used to be like Nia's go-to cut to commercial move, but it deserves to be on national TV. Oh, and that Samoan drop on the mat outside before the commercial break, that was great. And Becky too brought so much intensity in this match. She almost murdered Nia with that Becky go round. The deadly Becky go round hits again. Just kidding. No, but seriously, Becky is such a great storyteller. You can tell that she's giving her all to slay her biggest enemy out there. Anyway, at the end, Nia slams Becky to the barricade to free herself from the disarm her, but the angry Liv Morgan on her revenge tour comes to attack Nia, ending this match in no contest. Then Becky gets pissed off at Liv for interrupting her match as if she didn't do the exact same thing last week, and angry Nia drags both of them out and unleashes rage on them, and this poor random bald man beats this random ass fan that was watching with his head for no reason. I was screaming, so entertained, like it was so good. I'm so satisfied. And backstage, Becky and Liv argue until Becky challenges Liv to a match next week on Raw, and then mommy Rhea Ripley just comes and laughs at the man. At this point, there's no way. Nia and Liv are definitely going to WrestleMania with Becky and Rhea. I'm sorry, I love me some good multi-women championship matches. I'm here for it. What do you guys think? Do you guys prefer one-on-one matches for WrestleMania, or do you like triple threats, fatal four-ways too? And then we got Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter tag team match with Damage CTRL out here to eyeing on the competition. They looked really cool just laying on the announcer table. And this match, I'm sorry. So Shayna and Zoe won, but I really think Katana and Kaden are the one that impressed. No, I'm like so impressed with these two every time I see them because they already have so many cool tag moves, acrobatic moves in their arsenal, but they are really adding cool new stuff every single time we see them in the ring. It's like kind of like, how do you even do this? Like, I know they act like they're like busy partying all the time, but they are not partiers at all. They have no time to party because they are in the ring, you nerds, acting like you party, but you're really just training and working hard every day. No, they were so cool. That double Spanish fly and that hopping on top of Zoe to do Hurricanrana on Shayna, so damn cool. And they land 450 and neckbreaker combo on Zoe, but Shayna drags Kaden out. Zoe then rolls Katana up for a surprise win, picking up a win. And then post-match, Damage CTRL enters the ring saying Kabuki Warriors will grant Shayna and Zoe the championship opportunity, which is very generous of them. Loving how Kabuki Warriors are keep defending the title over and over again. Roman Reigns can never. But also my intrusive thought, did Dakota Kai turn against Bayley just to be 3 ESL wrestlers' mouthpiece? I know that at least Asuka can cut like a heck of an entertaining promo. Also, Io is a leader of this team. Even after getting rid of Bayley, Dakota is giving the leader energy. As an ESL myself, I really wish WWE can just push Io to cut more promos because she's a freaking champion. Put her out there more. Anyway, I think this match was fun, so I'm satisfied. And backstage in the locker room, we see all the tag teams, and Talia here is like, how dare you, Tegan? You eliminate me from Royal Rumble. Totally gaslight her. Then Candice gets all riled up by this conversation, shades poor Maxine Dupree, who was just trying to cheer her up, telling her like, what, you had like 3 matches, girl? And leaves the locker room with Indy apologizing profusely. Basically, you know the drill. It's time for WrestleMania Tag Team Showcase match. At least they built these teams for months, so it feels less random. Like, remember when Billie Kay teamed up with Carmella? Let's move to WWE NXT. There's always tons going on in NXT side. We got 3 matches starting from Kalani Jordan versus Kiana James, accompanied by Easy Dame. Did Kalani do this clap thing before for her entrances? With, I don't know, gymnastic powder? That's really cool. And I also have to point out how shady production was. You know Kiana's gonna do her Kiana James with her name graphic, but camera had to move away, making her look damn silly. This was a really fun match between 2 extremely athletic performers, but the ending, oh my god. So Kalani was gonna do this like springboard move, but Easy just like drags her leg down, making her crash into the apron. That looked nasty. And Kiana picks up a win with a deal breaker. That looked really scary. Hope she's okay, and this was a really good match. Satisfied. Then we got Roxanne Perez versus Jakara Jackson after Roxanne was throwing another tantrum in the locker room. Honestly, she's kind of good at this whiny heel, and Jakara and Lash looked so freaking good. They really look like super freaking star. I love Jakara's chop where she says, "Say sorry, Ms. Jackson." Anyway, Lash stops Roxanne's pop rocks and gets ejected out by the referee. Oh, I also loved Roxanne's nasty looking moonsault, and Roxanne shows tons of fire in this match, tons of rage, and taps Jakara out with crossface. I think Jakara looked so good in this match, by the way, even losing. And listen, I am all for Roxanne heel turn. They've been teasing it enough, like more than half a year. let's go for it. I'm here for it. This was fun. I'm satisfied. And then we got Gigi Dolan versus Jada Parker. So NXT GM Ava, who is at this point like a homeroom teacher, booked this match because Gigi comes to find her to talk about her future. And listen, I want to talk about her future too, because what's going on with her direction? Where is the direction? Then Jada apparently like broke into Ava's office wanting to talk about big opportunities. So we get this match instead between the two. And this match was really interesting because we get this random interference by Ariana Grace. And I guess Ariana Grace now is anti-violence person. So she's like against fighting in a wrestling show. This is kind of giving like asexual person on Grindr a hookup app. Anyway, she's out here like, please, let's stop the fighting. We can talk through this. Peace, yes. And she even tried to stop Gigi from punching Jada, so she gets headbutted by Gigi, and using this distraction, Jada hits her god-awful forearm finisher. Yet again, yes, she brought it back. I don't know why, but it's sticking around. I mean, for how ridiculous this anti-violence character in wrestling, maybe we can cook this into like something cool, like right to censor almost? I don't know. Could this be like a big anti-violence stable? Although I don't know how that would work in pro wrestling where the storytelling is literally through fighting. I don't know, but I feel like maybe. But anyway, I think this match was fun, satisfied. An in-ring promo from Lyra Valkyria, the NXT Women's Champion. She's here to present her superfan Tatum Paxley with a special gift because she listened to her and stayed back last week from her championship matches. And as a gift, they will partner up, not as friends. And Tatum's like, yeah, we're more than that. Yeah. Ma'am, are we getting the shower segment? Are we getting the mistletoe segment? And she announces that her and Tatum will team up to challenge Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championship. I gotta say, Lyra can go in the ring, no doubt about that, but I don't like love her championship reign. It's little lacking, but Tatum is so good that I feel like she's carrying this championship reign. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in this tag team championship. Hope something lesbian-y happen. Let's move to AEW, starting with Dynamite. We had Chris Statlander versus Sky Blue match. So remember last time they clashed, Sky picked up a shocking win with Avalanche Code Blue, which was really cool. So this was their rubber match, and this was again very good match. Loved when Stat like threw Sky over barricade. Stat's like so freaking powerful, so athletic, so good. And when Stat hits Sky with German on the apron, TBS champion Julia Hart runs out to check on her evil sister. And it's kind of funny that even the commentary is like, we don't see much of a champion anymore. Anyway, then we see Sky hit Canadian Destroyer out of nowhere on Stat, but she kicks out, and Sky kicked out of Wednesday Night Fever. So Stokely was like, let me just like help her out. So he was trying to hand Stat steel chain to use, but referee catches it and got caught. And using this distraction, Julia comes in to hit Stat with her championship belt, letting Sky pick up a win with Code Blue. This was a great match again. Like such great chemistry Sky Blue has with both Stat and Willow, and great way to set up their pre-show match at Revolution. I'm satisfied. And later on Collision, Stokely apologizes for his up. I don't know. I'm really warming up to this throuple. I love it. I mean, I still want Stat to turn heel with Stokely, but I don't know. I'm not mad about this throuple. On Rampage, we had this like kind of a surprising match. Riho returned, and Riho versus Trish Adora was the match we got. And this was fun because Trish was playing this like menacing powerhouse against Riho, which makes sense visually. And at one point, I think Riho like has disease from that backbreaker, which looked more like a neck breaker. But at the end, Riho picks up a win with double running knee. Kind of a random match, but I did enjoy it. So satisfied, Riho looked happy to be back. And then we saw Ruby and Angela Parker go on a date. And I guess like they invited the whole AEW camera crew to join in. They were like, come on in. I see what you're into, Ruby. And then Saraya comes to like confront Ruby again. And Ruby's like, what? What are you gonna do now? But really she was just distracting them until Zack Knight, Saraya's brother, to come ambush Angela Parker. And I love he was like, bam! 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 He was making bam sound with his mouth. And he later hits Angelo on his head, leaving him cold on the floor. But I don't know, that shot looked really bad. And Saraya leaves them saying, you need me. I mean, I love it. I need Saraya versus Ruby match because the storyline here is already so juicy. And also, if you think about it, like big picture, we need to prop Saraya back up until we see Saraya versus Mercedes match, right? And on Collision, we had Mariah May versus Angelica Risk. And this was a perfect jobber match. Mariah looked so damn good here. I mean, I, first of all, love her gear. I think it's one of the best gears in the industry right now. And her striking, wild. Her dropkick, that knee, freaking crazy. And she was serving characters throughout this whole match, so I really loved this match. And post-match, her hero, timeless Toni Storm, comes out, and Mariah was like all excited. Yes, my hero's finally recognizing me, here to congratulate me, only for her to like grab the mic, like totally ignore Mariah, to call out Deonna Purrazzo, who conveniently answers a call within like 3 seconds. That's faster than anyone picking up my phone call. And this is probably my favorite line I've heard in pro wrestling in a long time. Hope you have a bidet, because it's gonna be hard to wipe your ass after I break your arms. I love it so much because guess the first thing I bought when I moved into my place? Bidet. That's my priority. And this episode isn't sponsored by bidet, but I personally love bidet. It's life-changing. Then Tony's like, it's a goodbye, my friend, and puts a lipstick on to kiss Deonna's cheek, which she was like very passionate about that kissing. And then the brawl started, and it all ends with Mariah getting laid out with Queen's Gambit. Yeah, this feud is so absurd, but yet also very personal. I love it. Stratisfying. Also, Serena Deeb had a backstage interview. She called herself the final boss of AEW, and she says she's on a different level with everyone else in the locker room, which is always kind of goofy when she hasn't even squared up with any of the champions they have. And she calls out anyone out there, anyone watching who think they are best in the wrestling industry to step up to her. So you know, money. Seems like we're gonna have Serena versus Mercedes as Mercedes' first program or first match. We shall see. And on Sunday, we had AEW Revolution with 2 women's matches. Well, one on main card and one on pre-show. So the 0 hour, we had in-ring return of TBS Champion Julia Hart and Sky Blue versus Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. Again, this was like first time seeing Julia Hart wrestle since mid-January for Battle of the Belts, and it was a really fun tag match. Julia and Sky Blue's chemistry really stood out here for me. When we think of tag teams with good chemistry, we think of like cool tag moves like Katana and Kaden, but this was kind of new. It almost felt like Julia was in control of Sky Blue. They were also great with sneak tags. Their timing was impeccable in so many cases that they seem almost like connected. It was giving like Mortal Kombat like support character, but it also kind of goes with their character too, that they have like shared virus. And at the end, Julia hits moonsault on Chris, but Willow breaks the pin. Willow then pounces Sky and hits Babe with the power on her for the win. That was a really fun match. I want to see Julia and Sky in more tag matches. And now that Julia is back in action, let's get some TBS Championship feud started with either Stat or Willow or Thunder Rosa. I don't know where she is. Then we got the much anticipated Deonna Purrazzo versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. This was the feud we were building towards since January 3rd when Deonna joined AEW, so it's been 2 months in brewing. And I love the entrances here. Deonna Purrazzo coming in looking so opulent, the Virtuosa itself, and then for like at least like 10 seconds, I literally thought it was like Toni Storm come back as her old self, especially after Deonna saying throughout this feud how she misses her old Toni Storm back, her best friend. It was not her. It was Mariah May dressed up as old Toni Storm, and especially with the sunglasses, they looked so freaking similar. Uncanny Valley area. It was almost bizarre seeing timeless Toni Storm with the rockstar Toni walking together. The match though, maybe because my expectation was so high, it was a good match. It started out with chain wrestling, which makes a lot of sense given that Deonna was really touting her technical prowess throughout the program, and Toni was also coming up with her own submission moves to battle it, so that made sense. But I don't know, as the match progressed, I think I needed to see more of the personal side and the absurdity of timeless character to come through more later in this match. Toni didn't do any of her gimmick spots like the Go Luther or the little like posing before the hip attack, none of that, and none of the sexual tensions of kissing in the cheeks and sniffing. That was really the highlight of the storyline, did not come into play. Really loved Deonna's top rope crossbody to both Luther and Toni outside. I thought that was a really good breaking point and a segue into more heated later half of the match, but the match quickly ended with Deonna putting Toni in Venice de Milo, but Luther interferes to distract the referee as Toni was tapping out, and Mariah May distracts Deonna, letting Toni hit Storm 0-4 to win over Deonna Purrazzo. I almost felt like, is this like first match out of like 3 match series or something? I'm really curious what you guys felt about this match. And I was kind of heartbroken, to be honest, because this was like the first big hurrah, the introduction to the Virtuosa character to the majority of AEW audience. And I'm sure a lot, like I was before watching her Impact run, had misconceptions about this technical submission-based character being kind of boring. Deonna had some of the most explosive matches I've ever seen in recent years against Jordynne Grace, Mickie James, so I feel like this was a bit of a missed opportunity relying so much on the technical side. And of course, women again getting the shortest match on the card definitely did not help their case. Hopefully the storyline continues somehow, but with Mercedes Moné expected to coming in soon, the AEW Women's Division is going to expect a big shakeup, so we'll see how that goes. But for me, this match was okay.
Good?
Not bad.
And on TNA Impact, we had Tasha Steelz versus Xia Brookside, with the winner challenging Jordynne Grace for the Knockouts World Championship at Sacrifice. This is their rubber match following Tasha picking up the win from Xia a few weeks ago with the handful of tights. And during this match, the action spills to the floor and they're just like brawling outside until referee counts 10 counts, making it a double count out. Boom, boom, boom. But Jordynne Grace, for the save, she comes out and she's like, I don't give a damn who she wins. I mean, she did not say that, but she basically said that because she's like, I'll defend the title against both of you, saying that she's gonna have both Xia and Tasha in a three-way at Sacrifice. Hey, I am all for it. I think it's actually a really good strategy because after losing some of the main players like Deonna, Mickie, Naomi, and I don't even know why Masha is stuck in tag division, TNA is looking a bit thin with the star power at this moment, so I wouldn't mind putting the newcomer Xia Brookside right into the title picture to see if she can rise to the occasion. And then, formerly known as Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance comes out to the ramp, announces that she will be competing in her second match. You're welcome. Did you guys see her first match, by the way? I know I didn't cover it because it was like a pay-per-view weekend. I think she looked damn awesome. Her gear was on point, and I loved her new mannerism, her aggressiveness, her cockiness. So I'm excited to see even more from Ash on her second match. All right, that is it for this week's Women's Wrestling Weekly. I am editing. There's still so much interviews in my hard drive. I'm like kind of stressed over it. There's a lot more interviews coming out, so get ready for that. And I'm going to a big event in New York soon, which there will be like tons of great women's wrestlers. Like freaking Stacy Keibler's gonna come. I don't know if I'll get an interview from her. I really wish, but I'm gonna start posting on a community post looking for some questions for the favorite moment stuff. So look out for that. And if you want to see what I'm up to just in general, follow me on DShin on Instagram and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter, and I'll see you next time. Bye.